All right, so well going, everybody. Today we're going to be doing the Claude 101 Claude desktop course. So let's get to it. So I'll start by just sharing my screen. Boom. Yep. Share. All right. And now, so this is where I am. I'll also include the link in the description to this page here. If you're doing the course, we can just do it together. All right. So again, the topic is Claude desktop app, chat, Cowork, and code. And in the last couple of videos, we already did getting better results, your first conversation with Claude, and what is Claude. So now let's just tackle this one. So now it says estimated time, 6 minutes, whatever. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to identify the three modes in Claude desktop app, which are chat, Cowork, and code, and what each is designed for. You'll be able to explain key features unique to each mode, including quick entry, scheduled tasks, and local versus remote development. All right. Choose the right mode based on the type of work you need to accomplish. So I'll find out about the three modes then. As you know, chat, co-work, and code. Nice. So navigating the Cloud Desktop app, chat, co-work, code. The Cloud Desktop app gives you three ways to work with Claude: chat, co-work, code. From quick questions to complex research to building software. From quick questions to complex research to building software. Chat is the same Claude you know from Claude AI, plus quick entry. So the same one on the web is the same chat, back and forth, um, plus quick entry, screenshots, dictation, and connectors that come from running natively on your computer. So if you run it on the computer, you get some extra stuff versus just using the Claude AI on the web. And now it says Cowork is an agentic tool. You give it a goal, connect it to your tools and resources, and let it do the work. So you just tell it what you want, and it start do it. And I guess you can connect it to different connectors or tools and resources. Nice. So like one of them, I know you can connect it to like Canva, or you can connect it to like Google Drive or so. With Cowork, Claude has the reach. Okay. With Cowork, Claude has the reach and the room to do more. This broader scope allows it to conduct more thorough research and analysis and produce more complex documents and deliverables. Code is for building software, from writing and testing code to deploying it. So let's just read that again. So it said this broader, with Cowork, Claude has the reach and the room to do more. This broader scope allows it to conduct more thorough research and analysis and produce more complex documents and deliverables. Code is for building software, from writing and testing code to deploying it. All right. Cowork and code run on the same engine. Both are cloud code underneath. Locally to your machine, capable of independent work, able to spin up sub-agents and sustain long tasks. This allows Claude to work through larger tasks on its own, like research and writing or building software. Each mode is designed around the work it serves, showing you what matters and gives you control where you need it. Okay, so co-work, so code, like so both of them, co-work and the code section, both have cloud code under them. It just depends on what you need it for. It says it right here. Both are cloud code underneath. Local to your machine, capable of independent work, able to spin up sub-agents and sustain long tasks. This allows Claude to work through larger tasks on its own. Nice. All right, so now this is chat, and I'm sure you've used chat before if you're even looking at this tutorial or reading through these documents. It says chat excels when you need to ask questions, brainstorm, draft, or work through problems back and forth. Yeah, how do we use it for that? If you've used Claude AI, this works the same way with a few things that come from running natively on your computer. Quick entry. Double tap the Option key on your Mac to pull up Claude over whatever you're working on. I did not know that. Let's try that. Oh, I didn't know. I did not know you could do that. Okay, so double tap Option key. Nice. Yeah, we're working on. Pull up Claude Code over whatever you're working on. It responds in a compact window that stays on top as you switch between apps. You never have to leave what you're doing to ask a question. That stuff, I didn't know that. Screenshots and window sharing. Capture a screenshot or share a window so Claude sees exactly what you're looking at, faster than describing what's on your screen and more precise. Mac. Oh, okay, that's good. So you can just take a screenshot. Just so like in the previous lessons, it explained how giving more context, like uploading a document or in this case uploading a picture, can help speed up things and you get the response from Claude you were kind of thinking. All right, dictation. All right, so dictation. Talk through a problem instead of typing. Useful when you're thinking out loud, away from your computer, or working through something where speaking is faster than writing. And that's for the Mac. Desktop connectors. Connect local tools and services through connectors so Cloud can work with other tools on your machine. All right, so it says, again, these are, if you've used Cloud AI, this works the same way with a few things that come from running natively. So you get all this extra stuff if you're like, you download the Cloud desktop app. And you see right here where it says Mac, you get that. It's a dictation, screenshots, and window sharing. Nice. Try it out when you're starting at an unfamiliar dashboard. You're staring at an unfamiliar dashboard. Double tap Option, drag your cursor over the window to screenshot it, and ask, "What does this metric mean?" Claude answers in the overlay while the dashboard stays in view. That is so tough. So it's like a double tap option, right? And then it says, drag your cursor over the window to screenshot it. Oh, that's just, oh. Oh, I have to turn on some permission stuff. Oh, okay. All right. That's tough though. I didn't know you could do that. Chat, tell me in the comments if you knew you could do that. I have no idea you could do that. All right. So next it says, try it out when you're in between meetings and want to think through how to structure a presentation. Open quick entry, switch to voice, and talk it through. All right, I don't like how I read that. Try it out when you're in between meetings and want to think through how to structure a presentation. Okay. Open quick entry, switch to voice, and talk it through. Claude drafts an outline from what you said. Okay, try it out when you've been jotting down ideas for a product launch across Apple Notes for weeks. You add the notes connector for settings and ask Claude, pull together everything in my notes about the Osprey launch, whatever. Figure out where I left things half finished and check my other connected tools for anything that fills in the gaps. Claude reads your notes on your machine, pieces together what you have, and follows up where you trailed off. Okay. So that's what I'm gonna talk about this chat. So do this thing when I them thing I look for. So use the regular Claude chat in those cases. Now we're gonna look on Cowork. All right, so Claude Cowork is built for work that takes real effort, pulling information from many sources, making sense of it, and producing something finished. Okay. Let me just check and see where I'm going. Nice. In Cowork, Claude can multitask, tackling different parts of a project at a time. So it has the scope to draw from more sources and the stamina to see things through. Thorough research briefs, cross-source financial analysis, end-to-end contract review, polished slide decks from material spread across sources. So you can do all of this. So again, in Cowork, Claude can multitask, tackling different parts of a project at a time. So it has the scope to draw from more sources and the stamina to see things through. Thorough research briefs, cross-source financial analysis, end-to-end contract review, polished slide decks from materials spread across sources. Before starting, Claude often asks a short set of questions to pin down what you need: scope, format, and constraints. It helps. It builds a plan you can review in the sidebar. As it works, you see the tasks come together. Okay. Sources it's drawing from: files taking shape, progress through the plan. You can run multiple tasks at once, each in its own conversation, and switch between them from the sidebar. Okay. I don't know what you people, but that one they just still never clicked to me. So whenever it doesn't click to me, I read it over. I'm not gonna run through this. I really want to fully grasp everything they're saying. So I'm gonna read it again. All right. So before starting, Claude often asks a short set of questions to pin down what you need: scope, format, constraints. All right. It builds a plan you can review in the sidebar. Okay. As it works, you see the tasks come together, sources it's drawing from, okay, like citations, files taking shape, progress through the plan. You can run multiple tasks at once, each in its own conversation, and switch between them from the sidebar. Okay. Folder access. Point Claude to a folder on your computer, and it reads what's there, figures out what's relevant, and saves finish work back to the same place. You can also upload files, paste content in the conversation, or connect tools that pull in what Claude needs. So it can do everything in their files. It can change up your documents. Any folder where you land Claude Cowork in to begin work, you can do pretty much anything in there, but if you give permission. Next thing is schedule tasks. Claude can handle recurring work on a schedule, a daily briefing that pulls from your Slack and calendar, a weekly roundup of what's shipped, a morning inbox triage that sorts what needs your attention. You define the task and when it should run, and Claude handles it automatically each time the app is open. If your computer or the app was closed when a task was due, it catches up when you're back. Oh, okay, so you can just schedule some of a run, right? And then it will just keep doing it. And if you lock your computer, when you open it up back, the task will continue. All right. Sub agents, background workers are Claude spins up to handle parts of a task in parallel. If you ask for something complex like a research brief that pulls from multiple sources, Claude breaks it into subtasks, assigned each to a sub-agent with its own context, and coordinates the results, giving you one finished deliverable. So it's sending out little, I guess, mini AIs to like do some of the other work on the side and just kind of bring everything back together and get the final result. That tough. All right. Or sub agents, not many AIs, but yeah. Dispatch, a persistent conversation thread that allows you to continue your Cowork conversation from your phone, from the Claude mobile app. You can hand Claude tasks that use everything on your computer, your files, connectors, plugins, even desktop apps. To use this feature, you need both the desktop and mobile apps with your computer awake and the desktop app open. Yeah, I set this up today and it's pretty good. I was trying to use it to keep track of like tickets, like train tickets, because trust me, the train tickets sometimes are so random, and I wanted a way how I could have Claude search for it to find out the tickets at certain times, and then let me know when is the probably, or just give me a suggestion of buying the ticket at a good price, and it does it really well. The only thing is I'd say is, yo, it ate up a lot of my usage. It ate up a lot of that. So yeah. So I'm just waiting for it to reset and then I can go back to it. All right. So projects. Projects in Cowork let you group related tasks into dedicated workspaces with their own files, context, instructions, and memory. I haven't used projects yet. Let's read that again. Projects in Cowork let you group related tasks. So I guess these schedules, related tasks into dedicated workspaces with their own files, context, instructions, and memory. If you use projects on Claude, if you use projects on Claude, Cowork projects work similarly, but they live locally on your desktop and are built around the tasks you run through Cowork. Okay. I'm gonna fully get that, but I feel like once you start using it, that's when I'll grab it. And it's a browser use. Connect Claude in Chrome, and Claude can navigate websites, interact with pages, and pull what it finds directly into tasks it's working on. This is how Claude Cowork does things like check competitor pricing across 10 sites, or gather data from pages that don't have an API. I am using this and I'm using that for the same train ticket thing, and it does this. It's kind of tough. So it like literally will go to the train website, just like a regular. You see like this orange mouse or orange pointer version of this, and like you'll just see Claude clicking around and checking the prices for the times I picked out. So this definitely sick. Computer use, this browser use and stuff. So computer use, when Claude doesn't have a connector or plugin for what you need, it can navigate your computer directly, clicking, typing, and opening apps just like you would. Claude follows a priority order: connectors first, then Chrome, then screen interaction. So it always picks the fastest, most reliable path. All right, so connectors first, then Chrome, and then screen interaction. Also for this year, when it comes to like moving and clicking or opening documents using a mouse, it actually permission first. You don't have to give that. And then it says, you'll see a permission prompt, same thing. You'll see a permission prompt before Claude accesses each app. And you can set up a block list for anything you want off limits. Computer use is in research preview. Oh, computer use is in research preview on Pro and Max plans. Mac OS only, Windows coming soon. Okay. So plugins. Plugins give Claude capabilities it doesn't have on its own. Pulling live financial data, searching your company's internal knowledge base, or working within a specific compliance framework. Browse and add them from the Cowork interface to fit the task. So I'm wondering, are plugins and connectors the same thing? If you're not sure about that, if you don't know that, please let me know in the comments. It kind of sound like the same thing to me, plugins and connectors. And it doesn't even separate it here, so I'm wondering. And I said, oh, we could ask Claude. Option. Let's see. Are plugins and connectors the same thing? Just a little tangent here, but whenever I'm doing research, I like to check if there's something I'm not sure about. I know we'll get the answer to what this is, so let's see. So it's thinking here, and it shouldn't take this long. I mean, it's stuff. Okay, all right. So it's a close cousins. Let's a little bigger. All right, so it's a close cousins, but not exactly the same thing. In Claude's world, the official term is connectors. Those are MCP-based integrations like Gmail, Google Calendar, Superbase, Canva, etc. That let me reach out to external apps on your behalf. You've got a bunch of them already, all right? Plugin is more of a generic legacy term for the broader LLM space. ChatGPT plugins, browser plugins, IDE plugins. People sometimes use this interchangeably with connectors in casual conversation. But Anthropic doesn't really brand anything as a plugin right now. The closest distinct concepts here are connectors, are external service interactions, MCPs, skills, package instructions, tools, individual. All right, cool. Let's jump back to this. And now it says, protected environment. Cowork runs in a contained space on your computer. Claude can read, create, and edit files within the folders you share, but can't access anything outside of them. All right. Try it out when. So this is when you should try out Claude Cowork. When you want to query all your tools like you would a database. Ask, review what we decided about pricing last quarter across meeting notes, Slack, and email, then update our Q3 deck with the findings. And Cowork finds the answers across meeting notes, slide decks, emails, and Slack threads. You're researching a new market, scoping competitors, evaluating tools for any research that might span multiple tabs with hard to extract information. Cowork visits the sites, reads the reports, pulls the pricing, and delivers a structured brief with sources, without you opening a single browser tab. And then again, try Cowork. Try Cowork when you need to work through a folder of 50 plus project documents, including contracts, financial reports, and meeting transcripts. You can ask Cowork to find the documents most relevant to your initiative and produce a summary memo. Okay, so it summarizes a bunch of documents here. Cowork reads every page, cross-references across the full set, and pulls out the patterns that only emerge from reading all of them. Review 50 like you'd review 5. Ooh, that's good. All right, so I guess a lot of, I feel like a lot of analytical people or financial people will find this to a benefit. You keep doing the same work every morning, checking messages, putting together a status update, prepping for the day's meetings. Set it once as a scheduled task, and Claude handles it on repeat. So you start the day with answers instead of admin. Cowork is available to Pro, Max, Team, and Enterprise users, with new capabilities being added regularly. So now my favorite one, Code. I don't know, I'm stuck between Chat and Code. Cowork is like but Chat and Code, I use those a lot. All right, so now the Code tab begins. The Code tab gives you access to the power of Claude Code, running directly inside the desktop app. This gives you a full development environment for building software via code. Claude works directly in your code base, reading what's there, writing and modifying code, running commands. Visual diffs show what changed. A built-in terminal shows commands as they run. And Git tracks every version so you can always roll back. Yeah. And one thing it definitely commits a lot too. So yeah. So where Cowork runs in a self-contained workspace limited to folders you share, code runs directly in your project with full access to your file system, terminal, and development tools. Let's read it again. So while Cowork runs in, I know it says where, but I'm saying while Cowork runs in a contained workspace limited to the folders you share, Cloud Code runs directly in your project with full access to your file system, terminal, and development tools. You choose where work happens, local. You select a folder on your computer, and Claude works directly with those files because it runs on your machine. Because it runs on your machine, Claude can read your project, access local tools, and run a development server you can preview in your browser. Okay. You choose where work happens, local. You select a folder in your computer. Claude works directly with those files. Got that. Because it runs on your machine, Claude can read your project, access local tools, and run a development server you can preview in your browser. Cool. Remote. You connect a GitHub repository, and Claude works in a cloud environment. Sessions continue even if you close the app, so you can start a big refactor and check back later. Good for larger code bases or when you want to keep development off your local machine. Yeah, cool. 3 interaction modes let you control how much Claude does on its own. Ask. So Claude proposes every change and waits for your approval. You review a visual diff and accept or reject before anything is modified. Code. Claude applies files changes automatically but checks before running terminal commands. So these are different modes you can let you control how much Claude does on its own. So there's the ask one where basically you just keep asking you for it. And then there's a code one where it says Claude applies file changes automatically but checks before running terminal commands. Now there's a plan one which says Claude outlines its full approach before touching anything. A dedicated plan viewer lets you review and revisit the strategy as work progresses. You can run multiple sessions across projects and filter them by status, active or archived, and language environment from the sidebar. The code tab is available on Pro, Max, Team, and Enterprise users. Now it's comparing the three models. Optimized, so chat is optimized for quicker exchanges, exploring ideas, iterative drafting, quick answers, learning through dialogue. I guess like if you want a quick back and forth answers and so. All right. Cowork is optimized for complex or sustained work, research, analysis, file organization, producing finished documents, and deliverables. So I guess Cowork just have more powers. It can handle more complex stuff. While chat is like, for a more back and forth, I don't want to call it a chatbot because in the last articles they stressed it is not a chatbot. So I don't want to call it that, but chat is more, I would say more casual and chill. And then when you go to Cowork, that's when you can handle more like heavier work, like changing around documents or editing stuff like that. Code, building software, writing, testing, running, and deploying code. So that's what Claude Code is optimized for. All right, so now the key features. So for Claude Chat, quick entry and dictation. And then for Cowork, works from local folders, plugins, sub-agents, scheduled tasks. All right, so those are its key features. It works from a local folder, it has plugins, it has sub-agents, it scheduled tasks. Nice. Code, however, has all the ask code and plan modes, right? Visual diffs, Git integration, local and remote environments. So this can do almost everything. Yeah. Tools and extensions for chat, it's connectors, skills, Claude, and Chrome. Okay. For Cowork, it's connectors, local and remote, skills, Claude in Chrome, plugins, and computer use. All right. And now for code, it's connectors, skills, Claude in Chrome, plugins, and hooks. Not sure what hooks are. If you know what hooks are, just add in the comments, just explain it, and let me know. I know it says lesson reflection. Think about the tasks you most commonly use Claude for. Which mode, chat, Cowork, or code would best fit each of these tasks? Consider, I use chat a lot. Like even if I'm on the training, I just got a question to ask, I'm gonna use chat. I do use code, but it's usually when I'm working on something. And lately I have, well, pretty much like, yeah, really recently, I have been using more Cowork, and that's only because I set up a routine or a schedule so I can check train prices as they go up or down, so I can try to get the cheapest train ticket. And yeah, but it uses up your usage for real. All right, so consider a recent project where you needed to pull information from multiple sources. How might Cowork have changed your workflow? Basically, Cowork could have pulled information from multiple sources. Cowork has web access, so it can search the web and find out what we want, but we would also ask it for citations. So we know that because we even saw it in the previous courses that it says AI has a possibility to make mistakes, right? So the citations will help ensure so the info is legit. All right. All right. So what's next? In the next module, you learn how to organize your work and knowledge using projects. Cool. Let's just go back up here, and we're just going to do a quick run through. We're not going to read all of this. We're just going to read the main points. All right. So chat is the same Claude you know from Claude AI, plus quick entry, screenshots, dictation, and connectors that come from running natively on your computer. All right, so this is chat. And so chat excels when you need to ask questions, brainstorm, draft, or work through problems back and forth. All right. And these are some of the benefits that come from running Claude Chat on your machine. Quick entry, screenshots and window sharing, dictation, desktop connectors, all right? And these are some of the read times when it says to try it out when. I'll read one of them. So it says try it out when you're staring at an unfamiliar dashboard, double tap option, drag your cursor over the window to screenshot it, and asks, what does this metric mean? Claude answers in the overlay while the dashboard stays in view. All right. And now it says Cowork. Claude Cowork is built from work that takes real effort, pulling information from many sources, making sense of it, and producing something finished. All right. And you can go to the web to learn all of that. All right. You can run multiple tasks at once, each in its own conversation, and switch between them from the sidebar. All right. So folder access. Point Claude to a folder on your computer, and it reads what's there, figures out what's relevant, and saves finished work back to the same place. Next, scheduled tasks. Claude can handle recurring work on a schedule, a daily briefing that pulls your Slack and calendar, a weekly roundup of what shipped, a morning inbox triage that sorts what needs your attention. Okay. Sub-agents are background workers that Claude spins up to handle parts of a task in parallel. All right. Dispatch is a persistent conversation thread that allows you to continue your co-work conversations from your phone. Nice. And then projects in co-work let you group related tasks into dedicated workspaces with their own files, context, instructions, and memory. Browser use. Connect Claude in Chrome, and Claude can navigate websites, interact with pages, and pull what it finds directly into the task it's working on. Computer use. So Cowork got a lot of features. Computer use. When Claude doesn't have a connector or plugin for what you need, it can navigate your computer directly, clicking, typing, and opening apps just like you would. So that's computer use. And then it said plugins. Plugins give Claude capabilities it doesn't have on its own, pulling live financial data, searching your company's internal knowledge base, or working with a specific compliance framework. Protected environment. Cowork runs in a contained space on your computer. Claude can read, create, and edit files within the folders you share, but can't access anything outside of them. All right, so one of these. So try it out when you want to query all your tools like you would a database. Ask, review what we decided about pricing last quarter meeting notes, Slack, and email, then update our Q3 deck with the findings. And Cowork finds answers across the meeting notes, slide decks, email, and Slack threads. Nice. All right, now code. So the code tab gives you access to the power of Claude Code running directly inside the desktop app. This gives you a full development environment for building software. And now it says you choose where work happens. So local, you can pick local or remote. And local is basically on your machine. Remote is more so you connect a GitHub repository and Claude works in a cloud environment. Sessions continue even if you close the app, so you can start a big refactor and check back later. Good for larger code bases or when you want to keep development off your local machine. All right. So 3 interaction modes let you control how much Claude does on its own. So there's ask, code, and plan. For ask, that's basically Claude proposes every change and waits for your approval. Code, Claude applies file changes automatically, but checks before running terminal commands. And then plan, Claude outlines its full approach before touching anything. You can run multiple sessions across projects and filter them by status. All right. And then these are just how they compare them. All right. So Claude Chat is optimized for quicker exchanges, exploring ideas, iterative drafting, quick answers, learning through dialogue, while Cowork is optimized for complex or sustained work, research analysis, file organization, producing finished documents and deliverables, while Claude Code is optimized for building software, writing, testing, running, and deploying code. All right, there's some more, but I'll let you get them. But again, I think that was like our summary just to help cement this knowledge in our head. And Again, what I want to say is in the next one, let's see what the next one will be. So hit next here. The next one will be introduction to projects. So we'll tackle that in the next video. For now, let's just make all that knowledge we just took in just kind of simmer. And remember the motto, anyone can learn anything with time, practice, and failures. And remember, like, comment, share. I'm out.